Support this movement, the war on workers. Corporate America has got a war going on against the Americans. They're not releasing their money. They're not creating jobs. The banks are bailing out the corporations. The corporations aren't doing anything for the Americans. We're here to support this movement. These people vote. Corporate America is paying the politicians, putting all the money in the politicians, having the politicians in their pocket, creating anti-labor legislation. So we're here to support these people, to go against corporate America. I'd like to see these people all vote.
I see your Teamsters Local 929.
Yes.
What do you think about some of the recent comments? Some politicians have said that they think unions should be made illegal.
They should be made illegal. The politicians who made that, they should be made illegal. They should be thrown in jail.
America was
Who are they to
built
make
on
a comment like that?
Oh, some
Okay.
a man running for office out in West California or somewhere said that, and it seems
you
to
know
be.
what? He's entitled.
He's
He's
out in
entitled.
California somewhere,
Yeah.
probably laying back on the beach or in a swimming pool or is a jacuzzi.
He's entitled to his opinion, but he's a nitwit.
Yeah. What do you think about the efforts in Wisconsin and Ohio
Oh, that's a disgrace.
against
It is.
public employees?
To strip public workers of the bargaining unit rights is an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. It's just another way to break the union. That's all it is. Some of these politicians, these anti-union politicians, we're totally convinced in the union world that all they want is a rich and a poor. They don't want no middle class.
No middle class.
Well, that's
And they're in for a rude awakening because unions are on their way back. They're making a comeback. You see this shit here that's happening here today, happened in New York. If you watch, it's going to carry all across this country. They're going to send these anti-union or these politicians who don't like unions. They're going to send them a message.
isn't it more that they're trying to oppress the people, and by cracking the unions, they can subjugate the people?
Sure they can. That's their objective.
Divide and conquer. Their whole objective is divide and conquer. They want the little sheep to come to work every day so they can fill their bank accounts up. CEOs making millions upon millions of dollars. CEOs are coming in for 11 months. CEO Hewlett Packard was there for 11 months, got $12 million for 11 months. They're not creating jobs.
They're not creating jobs. I mean, all the jobs, they're sending them overseas.
Well,
Where do you find anything now that says made in America? Years ago, if you seen something that said made in America, you know that it was made properly, union built. Now everything that you see is made from different countries, and you use it a couple times and it breaks down on you. Shit. You need more infrastructure here.
Do you think the United States should pull out of the World Trade Organization?
I don't know. I don't want to go. I'm going to reiterate on what the brother just said here. Okay, I worked on the waterfront for almost 20 years. Okay, down at South Jersey Port, and as a crane operator. And I'll tell you one thing: it was always export. All right. Or no, I'm sorry, import, never export, which meant we were always unloading ships, whether it was steel, whether it was plywood, whether it was always from another country. In all the years I worked down there, we did very, very little loading ships to go overseas. So I believe exactly what he's saying.
I mean, you have to understand that. I mean, the United States was built on union. It was built on union, so you can't cut away from unions. You know what I mean? You take away from unions, you're taking away from the United States, period. All these bridges and all these other things that you see built here, how do you come across to Philadelphia? Over bridge. That's union made. You know what I mean? A lot of guys' blood and sweat. Even when they pouring the Verrazano Bridge and they're pouring concrete, you think they could stop? No, they had to keep pouring concrete.
Top 1% of Americans now control 40% of the country's wealth.
That's nice.
Okay?
What's that tell you? That speaks for itself.
Top 2% control 90% of the wealth of the United States.
Yes.
So you talk a 1% difference? Man, worry about the top 1%, you worry about the top 2%.
Yep.
Look at the city. We're coming in from 95. You don't see one crane in this city.
Not one tower crane. You used to come over 95 and you could see 90. You could see
Yes.
Center City, Philadelphia.
Still works.
Not one tower crane. All these buildings used to have all kind of tower crane. None.
None.
Absolutely none.
You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what we're in right now. A lot of people are fighting to keep their houses, to keep their kids, you know, clothes, food. You know, it's hard.
Yeah. You guys are Teamsters.
Well, I'm a steam fitter.
Okay, steam fitter.
Yeah.
Our highways and bridges are crumbling. Traditionally Teamsters are the truck drivers, the carters,
Yeah, the
people
concrete
like
and
that.
dump trucks and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why do you think the country isn't investing in rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and providing jobs that way?
Ask people like the Koch brothers or the Koch brothers or whatever the hell their name is.
$20 billion each they're worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 4 and 5 on the wealthiest Americans. And they're spending all their money with the politicians. You got Walker out in Wisconsin. And the PAC funds at these rich corporate.
Where the hell are you supposed to be the strongest nation on this planet, and you're borrowing money from China and Japan and everywhere else?
But a lot
money.
of that is due to that trade imbalance that you were talking about, because
majority of
all the
buildings in
ships
New
are
York
being
are owned by the
unloaded, not
Chinese
loaded.
and
Yeah,
Japanese.
exactly.
It's really the trade deficit that's a worse
That's
economic
exactly what's
situation
happening.
than the federal deficit.
You're taking work from the U.S.
They're
You're sending
not-
work overseas.
The reason why your bridges and your roads are all crumbling on that, these politicians are not interested in rebuilding America. They're not interested in creating jobs. They're trying to blame Barack Obama when they're putting millions and billions of dollars toward breaking the unions. Because if you rebuild the bridges and you rebuild the roads and all that stuff, chances are it's going to be done by union labor. Okay, we got, like in the building trades where the teachers, we got men sitting who haven't worked, their unemployment ran out, their benefits ran out, ain't worked 8 days in 8 months. They're not interested. They're trying to. I honestly believe they're purposely running this economy into the ground and trying to blame Barack Obama.
And seriously, I mean, right now, what do you think would happen if the war ends and you have a lot of veterans coming back here to the United States? What are they going to do? You don't have infrastructure. You have to start having infrastructure, putting people back to work, having people spending money. Christmas is right around the corner. A lot of people are not going to have the money to buy their kids clothes, little toys, something.
What would happen to the working people of this country if they're successful in breaking unions?
You'd have a rich and a
There'd be no
poor.
middle class. You know, there was a sign out here that made a lot of sense. Where's Robin Hood now?
You won't have people enough to even go and buy grass. Sales will be up on garden hose from people sucking gas out of other people's gas tank.
You'll have more unemployment. You'll have more people on welfare. You'll just have a rich and a
It'll
poor.
be mayhem.
Okay, and that's the trend we're in right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're trying. But we're here to stop that.
Well, 15% of all Americans are now living in poverty.
Yeah.
It's a crime.
15%.
15%.
Yeah, but meanwhile, you can take all this money and send it overseas to bomb countries and then help them rebuild. You bomb a country and then you help them rebuild it. The fuck is that?
So we spend money building a bomb that's used
Bomb it,
that's
and
used
bomb it,
once
do all
to
that
just
damage and then go over and
And
rebuild
then
it.
go- and
Right.
And
then
they end up with more modern facilities than we do here.
And the contractors, Lord knows, whoever's getting paid over there, they're getting fat. It makes no sense. Think about it.
Yeah.
Where do you bomb something and then you send money to get it rebuilt again instead of working on what's here in the United States?